Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the first Sunday in May. Next week is Mother's Day for all of you, so please, at least in America, I don't know if that's celebrated outside the US, but remember Mother's Day. How's everyone's week been? Good, that's really awesome to hear. I accidentally didn't plug my laptop in apparently last week, so my laptop is currently dead, so I'm having to use my iPad to get the Q&A this week, so I do apologize for that. I'm gonna have to look down at that. We do actually have some haul, 2 items that were expected, and then several things that were not expected. They were a very lovely gift, as well as another very lovely gift. So there we go. All right. I guess without further ado, we'll get right into it with the Q&A. Of course, Maynia is going strong. Yay! We've got some starts and some other things. Let's see. I've got both puppy bears with me now. I had Phoebe. G was still sleeping, so Phoebe got up when I got up, but Remy just came in here with us, so I guess he's probably going to the bathroom. Thank you to everyone for the birthday wishes. It was a very nice birthday overall. So I thank you to everyone. Ivy Kruger asked about my wooden tool Caddy. I don't know if she has an Etsy shop or not. I did not get one of her cards that came with it, and I meant to call Stitch Knitch yesterday to see if I could get the information, and I forgot. But what I will do, for sure, when I go at the end of the month, I will get the information then. As well, Yulia, I know you watch my videos. Ivy Kruger commented on my last video about it. If you want to respond to her there, that might work. Or if you want to send me the information, then I can pass it on to Ivy. Because it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Oop, oop, doop, 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 doop. I scrolled a little too fast. I'm totally not used to doing this off the iPad. All right, Alpha's video, Alpha Stitchery had a few questions this week. What is your all-time favorite Oz piece? Like, if you could only recommend one. If we're talking, I'm gonna have to clarify this. I can't really necessarily pick one specific individual one. My absolute favorite in terms of just one individual piece is probably gonna have to be Pedal Pusher's Oz Sal from year before last. The other one, if we were talking about one that's like a series that you could make into one or you could do individually, it's Brooke's Oz pieces. And in fact, I interviewed both of them for an article for the Bon Bugle coming soon. It's pretty awesome. But those would be my top 2 choices. I also really love the Leslie Tier, but it's fairly dense in full coverage, whereas I adore both of the other 2. I've never done a Wicked piece, mostly because I would never tackle the one that's just like the poster for the show, for the musical. That's too much of one color, just over and over and over and over and over again. That would just drive me bonkers. And I've seen some that are like the Pixel People, Clouds Factory style, but they've never really bowled me over. So I guess the answer would be no. And yes, I know a little ASL. I took it in high school. So I mostly remember fingerspelling. I forgot a lot of my sign. My sign name is Garrett because I was in theater. So the G's doing the acting sign. And I can still fingerspell. And I remember some small things, like I remember the sign for bologna. Obviously, everyone knows the sign for milk and for milkshake because they're ridiculous. I remember this is over the weekend. I know this is technically the sign for turkey, but I still prefer this one because it's cute. I wanted to take it when I got into college when I went to North Texas, but they only offered it where sign language 1 was fall 2, and when I came in, 1 was already full up, and I didn't remember enough to test into 2. So hey, quiet you two. We have some puppy bears playing. So I don't unfortunately remember a lot of it, and that makes me really sad. I wish I did because I loved sign language, and I had a fabulous teacher. My second year wasn't as good as my first year. We had a teacher changeover, and my first year we had a hearing teacher, and who had been a professional interpreter and then got into teaching, and what she did was, this is a total tangent, but each 6 weeks after our first one for the year 1 students, we got to use our voices every day that first 6 weeks. And then after that, every week we had 1 voice off day. And then each 6 weeks it progressed. So the last 6 weeks we were completely silent in the class unless it was a dire emergency. And if we didn't know the sign, we were expected to fingerspell it and to figure it out. And so we really, really learned a lot of it. And then our second year, she left because she had a parent get very, very ill, and so she had to move to take care of the parent. And we got a deaf teacher who wasn't as effective, and then she had some health problems, so she missed half of the first semester because she had to have an emergency hysterectomy. And then the second semester, because we'd lost so much from just having subs, it just never really recovered. So we also did Children of a Lesser God while I was in high school, and so that one I played Orin, so I didn't have to do much sign, but I did a little in that. So I've always been a big fan, and Marlee Matlin is one of my favorite people in the history of ever. And I love that she had the balls to say at like 8 or 9 at a local community theater, well, why can't I be Dorothy just because I'm deaf? And she played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and I just absolutely love her for that. Marlee Matlin needs to do more stuff. Part of why I started watching The West Wing was because she's on it occasionally. So, anyhow, that was a total tangent. So there you go, Garrett's sign language discussion. And that's the end of the Q&A for the week. So like I said, it's probably a good place to stop that. Okay, so now we're gonna do the haul. Okay, so I got, the first 2 things are sort of related. I got an Amazon gift card for my birthday. So I ordered 2 books. I ordered Kazuko Aoki's The Embroidered Garden, as well as The Cross-Stitch Garden, because I've been on a real garden kick lately. And these are absolutely beautiful books. The cross-stitch one has more projects that I'm likely to do. Like it's got, here's one of the samplers. But it's got samplers. It's got a journal. Let's see what else is there that's in that. There was a coin purse. Some dish towels, which I'm totally gonna do. Totally gonna do that. I just need to find some dish towels for it. And actually, I may look at the dish towels I currently have and see if they would be something I could do it on. Some pillows. So I really love it, and it there's the chart. There's kind of, the charts are kind of small. I will say that the charts are small, but they've got, that's kind of how they do the color keys. So I got that. The embroidered garden has several wreaths that I really liked in it. They've got a wreath for each season. Like, here's one of them. Oh, no. Oh, no, this is the summer garden. So it does actually a lot of, like, three-dimensional sort of interesting, almost applique style things. There's that one. Yeah, like, here's the winter wreath. So, and some of them I actually would have probably thrown into Maynia, but I have to make copies of the patterns first. But yeah, they're both absolutely beautiful. Highly recommend them if you like garden sort of things. Like I said, I'm on a real garden kick right now. Garden and British kick. You probably saw those of you who are in Maynia saw my post probably last week where I was like, I'm on an English kick, show me all your England stuff. So, you know. All right, then I got the next in Farmhouse Christmas, which is Dairy Darlin'. So that's super cute. I really like the cow. It's like, I'm a cow, moo. Because, you know, that's the noise a cow makes. It's exactly like that. And then the next part of Welcome to the Forest, which is Forest Deer. And it's got a cute little deer and some mushrooms. A cute little tree. So, there we go. And I have some green fabric that I think this will work on. All right, so then my surprise came from Kevin Tober, who I don't actually know if he's on FlossTube or not, but he was going through his Gentle Arts, or his stash, and getting rid of, he had a lot of duplicates of Gentle Arts, and he knew I liked them, so he sent some to me. So, and he was like, I only made it as far as the M's, so he said there will probably be more that will come when I finish things out. I'm not complaining. There were a couple colors I was missing, a couple that this filled in holes or I needed in multiple projects. So he sent me all of these. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 skeins. So I'll show them real quick. I don't have anything to kind of hold against. Actually, I kind of do. Hold against this. And then I'll show you this, because this was a lovely gift as well. So, Banker's Gray. We'll do these a couple at a time. Burnt Orange and Currant. Currant's much more red than it shows up. This is Buttermilk, Caramel Corn, and Bittersweet here. This is Burlap and Butternut Squash. Actually, I think I needed Butternut Squash and all as well, so I'm just going to drop you in there real quick. This is Avocado, Adobe, and Black Raspberry Jam. We've got Fragrant Cloves, Black Crow, and Bayberry, which which is one of my favorites. I use Bayberry a lot. Ooh. Is there those? This one is maple syrup, mustard seed, and grasshopper. We've got hyacinth and deep forest. I needed hyacinth, I know, in that one. Creek bed and heirloom gold. And then finally, dried thyme. Oh, another caramel corn and dragonfly. All right. Now then, this was done as part of my Coffee Stitcher birthday sale in Maynia by Glenn Tingley, or Tinsley. I think it was Tinsley, Glenn Tinsley. But she made me this lovely band sampler that was all Garrett themed. So it says Garrett's birthday. It's on purple and purples and blues with some metallic. It's got some crowns. It's got my little trolley from my Mr. Rogers design. It's got Remy's name. All sorts of fun specialty stitches. So it's really, really cool, and it will be, after this video, I will be hanging it maybe there. I'm gonna hang it somewhere here so it'll be seen in my videos. So I may have to figure something out to balance it with. Maybe I can put that there. I don't know. I will figure it out though. But I absolutely love it, and I think it's beautiful, and I can't thank you enough for it. And it actually arrived on my birthday, but the post office can be crazy here, and they went, because our complex is divided in two, and the office is in the middle. So they went down one branch, then came back to the middle, left all the packages, then came to ours. Well, by the time they finished at ours, the office had closed. So I actually had to wait till Sunday to go pick it up. But thank you so much for it. All right, let's go into what I worked on this week, and then I'll show you what's coming up. So the first project, I worked a little more on Around the World. We did do a little more on it. So here's the heart. So I did all the red, and I did the little back stitch under it, and I started the race stitches. So I'll definitely come back to it after Maynia. Not definitely sure if it'll be in May or if it'll be in June, but I'll definitely be coming back to it. So worked on that. My first start for Maynia, where is it? Oh, was Red's Treehouse by Ink Circles. So there's the pattern. And I was going along great, and then I discovered, there's where I added one stitch too many here. So everything from this window across and down has to be frogged. So we're gonna wait. This will be what I do probably after I finish story time up. I'll take it to work and frog it then. I was so upset because I was having such a good time working on it. And I know a lot of you will go, well, Garrett, why not just fudge it? And my reasoning is this is so symmetrical here that I'm afraid I would screw it up. I don't think I can fake that. So for now, Red's Treehouse goes away. but it will return, I promise. So then I worked on the Lizzie Kate Green series. Also, I've added projects to Maynia because I'm me. So I started with Be Kind to Animals. So I got, and this is on Fabric Flair's Parisian Stripe Neutral. So there's the, I got the Be Kind to Animals part done. I realized my B is actually not completely correct, but whatevs. And I'm using the needle minder Yulia gave me. So, on Red's Treehouse, I'm using a coffee cup that I don't remember where I got. I think that might have been Nifty Needle Nannies, but it might also have been Delicious Threads. It was one of the two of them, most likely, because they're who I've ordered from the most. Because anything I get from Kate has been the domino size. Alright, so then I worked on the William Morris, which is, oh shoot. Okay. It's the Even Load tea tray. So this is the design. And I decided, I was doing some of the white, I was also doing some of the dark blue. I have no idea what this fabric is. I know I got it when I was in Eureka Springs. That's about the best I can tell you. But, here we go, here's the top. Although now I'm looking at it and I'm not sure it's big enough. It's 28 count, I know that much. Okay, it wanted 13 by 16. The tray is 9 by 12, and this is 18 by 18, so yeah, there's plenty of space. Okay, we're good. This is as far as I got. The blue is a little harder to see in the to stitch with, because we don't have a lot of overhead lighting in the living room. So when I go to Stitch Niche at the end of the month, I'll take it. And I'm using the I Love Lucy because it's one of G's favorite shows, and he was the one who got me that as one of my very first Christmas presents from him that first year. So, and since the fabric came from Eureka Springs, so it's kind of all G related to a degree. So I started that, but it's definitely one that I'll take. And then once the navy blue is done, the rest of it should be fine to do at home. But I really would feel better with the white not having to skip over unless I've got the blue and the red already there. Because the pattern's not the easiest to read because it's kind of small. So, all right, and then I had technically sort of started this. I had like half a mushroom done. So I decided I would add it to the Maynia list. So I brought back out Heart and Hands, Wonderful Life. So there's the full pattern. And it's the one that says how wonderful life is now that you are in the world. And I realized it's actually a birth sampler. So where it has a name there, I'm going to put Phoebe and Remy in. So it'll be a Puppy Bear sampler. But here's what I accomplished on it. So I got all of the Middle River done. I got the 2 mushrooms. I got 2 trees and the first part of the teepee. So, and this is on just mysterious 28 count even weave that I got from my friend Erin when she was destashing. So I have no idea what it is, but it's nice. Okay. Where did my bag for it go? There we go. And I'm doing my own color conversion on it. So the Gentle Arts is basically all the same, and the Weeks is all basically the same. But I did a lot of changes for the other colors. So, well, I say that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the week's die works, maybe 5. Yeah, I don't know. I did my own color conversion for several of these, so there's some classic color works, some more of that, some... Alright, so that's what I worked on for the week. So coming up this week, and I have no clue what I'm going to be starting. Today, I've got Fresh Eggs Farm from Hands-On Designs. And I'll be doing it on this natural with brown dots, because that seemed folksy and farmy to me. So I'll be working on that. I will be working on All Is Well from Shepherd's Bush. There's that. There's not a really good picture of that, unfortunately. Oh no, butternut squash isn't in this one. We got hyacinth was. Avocado was, but I think I've got avocado in there. If not, I'll throw it in. We'll have to look and see. Anyhow, yeah. So I may start this one. A couple of people said I should start Quaker Mermaid, which is starting this, which will be coming up shortly, and it's on the called for Opalescent Gina from Stephanie. So, which, Elizabeth, this is the one that you were destashing, and I got the linen version of. See, the linen's a little different. It's a little pinky purplier. So... So there's that. Then we've got Mary's Sampler from Plum Street, which this one was a freebie, and there's not a cover picture, so it is the pattern that you're seeing here. There's 2 versions of it. This one had a little more ornamentation than the other. But there we go. And I'm doing that on some Crystal Storm. And then finally, I decided I was going to restart my Frosted Pumpkin. Once Upon a Time. Oh, I thought this had a full chart. Okay, well, you know, the Frosted Pumpkin Once Upon a Time. There's the little bit of the border. I'm going to do it where each of the stories are going to be not heavily revised, but I'm going to make them look like the Fairy Tale Theater episodes. I'm doing it on Heaven's Fury from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's opal. And linen, I believe. Yeah, it's a linen. So I'll do it on that. Each episode, for those of you who don't know or don't remember, Fairy Tale Theater was a show in the late, well, actually it was the mid-'80s, on Showtime. And Shelley Duvall produced it and got a whole bunch of her friends to show up in it. So it was the basic general sort of tagline was the stars of today and the fairy tales you know and love. So you got most of them, even the ones that aren't the best, are at least interesting. But each one was obviously based off a fairy tale, and each one was also inspired by a different classical artist or illustrator. And they got a ton of big names. I mean, we're talking, the first episode was Robin Williams in The Frog Prince with Terry Garr. There's Liza Minnelli in The Princess and the Pea, with Tom Conti and Beatrice Straight and Ted Kaczynski. There's The Little Mermaid with Pam Dauber, Helen Mirren, Brian Dennehy, Karen Black, and Treat Williams. And so, I mean, it's huge. Susan Sarandon in Beauty and the Beast, Bernadette Peters and Christopher Reeve in Sleeping Beauty. And so, I mean, there were just a ton of them. And they're all basically in there with the exception of Birmingham musicians. So I'm debating what colors I'm going to do the border in. I don't know if I'll do the uniform like they did. A couple of people have thrown out the idea of like do a silver and gold and accent it a little with metallics like my giant Harry Potter. A couple of people suggested just do it like in a brown. Some people said do it in a gray. I don't really know what I'm going to do, unfortunately. So we will figure that out as we go along. But those are going to be my Starks. So, anyhow, this is a longer video than normal, probably because of my ASL tangent. So, anyhow, I guess that's about it for me, and I'll see y'all next week.